Light of Heaven now level 8 on the mid lane here. We'll be looking for Shackles. Shackles are very dangerous against Night Stalker. Almost thought about throwing one there, but decided against it. He's got about 1,000 gold, so we'll see if he goes Force Staff first or Mech. I think Puppy's going for Mech for sure, so I think Light of Heaven's going to get a really fast Force Staff here to help out whoever's being chased by Night Stalker.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that Navi is letting SS farm freely on the top lane.
Yeah.
Having some nice farm.
It's a little interesting. What is his GPM at? He's doing about... Wow. He has no farm at all.
No, I know. He's got shut down really good at the bottom lane. And this is basically his chance to free farm. And he has been doing so for quite a while there. I mean, not being shut down at all. Only now does Dundee and Vorst show up to maybe do something.
Yeah, he just picked up some shreds, so... Interesting that he's so far behind, but it makes sense. I mean, the SK Venge lane was a little scary, and Puppy was always down there as well, so at the very least, Navi has done that so far. They've completely shut down their enemy opponent's anti-mage farm, and they are at a disadvantage, but that's because they're actually one tower behind, so there's a slight gold disadvantage at the moment, but that's mostly because of the team fights, I think. Wow, they found a double Troll Warlord. That's rough. That's tough to lose those.
It is, and there's going to be a lot of pushing on the tier 2 tower. It doesn't seem like Navi wants to defend it so far. They're just going to give it away. Not trading anything in return either.
Yeah, they're going to pressure top a little bit. There's a DD up on Night Stalker, and PGG baiting out the TPs perhaps, but SS is still here. The bot tower does drop down, but M5 is going to back off. PGG thinking about TPing still. He's strongly considering there's going to be a stun in on the anti-mage. One raise, two raise, one hit's not going to get the kill. He blinks out. Barely survives once again. Anti-mage barely escaping with his life. That was so close.
Magic Wand really helped out there too.
It's only got one level of spell shield, but it did a pretty good job in resisting the damage. But at the very least, they are going to force Anti-mage back to base.
Yeah, and yeah, nothing really happening apart from that tier 2 tower dying at the bottom lane. I mean, I'm quite surprised that that just happened without really any strong reaction from Navi.
Yeah, I think they're feeling the gold disadvantage. They're not quite ready to team fight. I mean, Night Stalker early game is so strong. Void has such a low cooldown, 8 seconds on that crippling fear, and it was nighttime at the time, so they just said, whatever. We'll let the tier 2 fall. If we want to push and team fight, we're going to do it when it's daytime, or at least try to bait out the Night Stalker ulti to make sure that it's that he has that disadvantage.
True.
Now Dundee is going to be spotted by PGG, who does have a mechanism up. So his teamfight potential right now is pretty strong, but they're going to split up a little bit. Vost, no bottle charge. Shadowfiend does have an invisibility, so if he does get jumped on, he'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, and I don't think they spotted the force, so he's just going to be able to back out pretty safely.
We have Light of Heaven on the mid lane now. He's got phase boots as well as the Staff of Wizardry. And Ars Art is doing okay. He's got a Magic Wand level 6 up, just about to hit 7. And there you go. Observer Wards plus the Magic Wand completed. We'll be going to place those down. The warding is going to adjust now for the Radiant team because of the positioning of their towers. They have no towers in the bot lane. They're missing the tier 1 mid, so his positioning for the wards might be a little bit more jungle oriented, since that's kind of like the outer of their farming area. But this ward also very effective. Will possibly catch them going to Roshan, and also catching the rune as well.
Yeah, and we see Puppy almost having his mechanism completed. He just needs 400 more gold for the recipe. And that will have a huge impact. And I think when that's finished, they will be ready to try to draw out a good team fight with an epicenter. And maybe by then, Dundee will have spec'd his Requiem of Souls also, which he hasn't spec'd yet.
Yeah, he's only level 8 right now, so it's definitely not the right time quite yet. So they're going to pick off a couple more creeps. Dire team actually has a Sentry Ward down. I think they spotted the invisibility on Shadowfiend. Perhaps going to see if he utilizes it. Is going for the Treants, is going to pop a raise to make sure he gets the neutrals, and here comes Lich, going to drop down the Frost Nova. There's a lot of creeps here which can tank up the Chain Frost, and we're going to see a slight amount of lag as M5 backs up. Anti-Mage with a Ring of Basilius, looks like he's going to go for fast Vlads. That's what I assume at least. They're going to transfer TP, and Anti-Mage is going to TP to the bot lane to clear that up. That's a lot of farm right there.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that Antimage is going to go for Vlads if he's going to go for that. There's not really any other option for him to do so. But, yeah. Not really a first item that I would expect. I mean, they're probably not planning on making it all that late game in that case. So otherwise it would have been a more farm-heavy item build.
Maybe he just wanted the mana regen. Looks like he might go Vanguard now, so he's going to go Basilius into Vanguard. I mean, the early armor is not a bad thing at all, so could be something like that. But Navi is pushing up the mid lane. Light of Heaven will have his 4-staff purchase, but he's just waiting on the recipe, most likely. Just picking up the gold right now. And yep, he did purchase the recipe, so the push will come through by M5 in a second here. More lag, unfortunately. Ugh. Come on, no leg finals, no leg finals. And they're just going to sit back. Everybody's staying very, very close just in case Vigos decides to go aggressive. Sand King is quite a ways away from his Blink Dagger, but we'll see if he can make magic happen. There's going to be a Sentry D-Ward of the Observer Ward, but Chen Creeps are going to actually focus in bat. Do they have sentries ready to go is the question. Oh, Vengeful Spirit is going to find some, so it's very important right now that they make sure they can defend this. PGG is thinking about TPing in. They really want to kill this Observer Ward. Otherwise, Navi is going to be able to counter ward this Sentry as well as the Obs. It would be a great pickup right now, and the Courier's bringing it right now.
Let's see who's faster.
Dire team kind of looks like they gave up, actually. They're not too concerned about that anymore. I think they realize, oh, there's one hit. And here comes the Sentry. And there it is. So slow attacks from the low ground. Go for the Sentry first. And there they go. Their Observer Ward is safe. It's already cost the Dire team a lot to put that up. And they're going to find a DD. See if Leshrac is thinking about stealing it there. But Shadow Fiend is going to be able to cover it. He's being careful, though, just in case. Level 9, so he does have his ulti up. And the rest of M5 playing very careful. Possibly pushing the top lane.
Yeah, it looks like PGG definitely wants to push the top lane. He's got a creep wave ready. The tower doesn't need that much more to drop.
Yeah, they do have a glyph, but it doesn't look like they're going to pop it. Nature's Prophet gets the last hit. So that's, I believe, 2 towers now for PGG that he's picked up so far this game. Up to 1,800 gold. So he's still pretty far ways away from a sheepstick. But thus far for Navi, it's looking a little scary. I mean, their gold disadvantage is probably looking pretty decent now. 5k, not the end of the world. It's only 25% gold advantage, despite being at a kill disadvantage. Navi's really good at maximizing their farm time in all the other lanes. So even in the early game there, where they were at a kill disadvantage and Dendi did really terribly in terms of last hits as a result of their nice play, they were still very close. And that's just a really big testament to how well they play in their lanes.
Yeah, I have to say though, Dendi really caught up on his last inning. He's now at 100, almost 99. He will be at 102 pretty soon, and that's the highest amount in the game at the moment. So caught up really nice.
Oops, wrong button. There we go. So yeah, total gold farm thus far. The highest is actually getting close to being Dendi. It's at 6k right now. It's 313 gold per minute, really showing the strengths of Shadow Fiend, which is pretty much raising neutral creeps. As you can see, doing 300 damage to every neutral creep camp is extremely effective. And he's going to purchase a BKB recipe. He's still 600 away from finishing his BKB, but considering the start of his game, this is not bad at all.
No, this is like a comeback already. He's at least now even. He just needs to get ahead, and he will be able to do so with just continuing farming creep camps.
And we do have Blood Angel picking up Arcane. He's got 8-point booster next, so probably going to do the old fast Bloodstone build. Navi pressing it mid. It's almost nighttime for M5, so we may see M5 go aggressive pretty soon here. And there it is, nighttime. Level 10 Night Stalker. Maybe should have waited until this creep wave, because now he's on a very long cooldown for his ulti. But very small mistake that you don't notice usually. So, there he goes. Picking up that level 11, and Shadow Fiend trying to pick up the haste rune. He will snag it away from the Treant. Treant was probably thinking about denying that one. An inmate dropping down another Observer Ward. It is going to get spotted by the Radiant team, I think. I don't know if this sentry is close enough. It's going to be really close. We'll see if they deward it.
I don't think it's close enough, to be fair.
Oh, there they go, Chen Creeps.
Oh
Man, Chen Creeps.
It's close enough.
Go Chen Creeps. They got it. Totally worth it. Even if both of these creeps die, absolutely worth it. That Sentry Ward killed 2 Observer Wards. And that just like shows you the smart placing of Arzart. This Observer or this Sentry Ward covering all the bases here. Really nice ward.
In the meantime, Sand King picked up a Blink Dagger.
Looks like we might see a Wave of Terror. Oh, there is a Blink Dagger. That's awesome. Yeah, the Wave of Terror is going to scout them out, so here comes Navi. They do realize what's going on. We'll see them back out. Unfortunately, Dendi does not have his BKB up quite yet. He's still about 300 gold away. The Tornado's coming in to scout things out, and it looks like M5 is actually going to back out. Look for the Shackle. Not going to get it on Vigos. That was so close. Almost catching a Treant. In the meantime, Tornado still giving some vision, forcing them back a little bit, making them a little scared about team fighting. And in the meantime, PGG going for some counter push. Great play by PGG. Definitely the right time to do this.
Yeah, who's actually gonna pause the game a second?
Huh. I'm assuming that means I need a reboot.
Yeah,
So,
I recognize that word.
so it looks like it's Anti-Mage. He's going to disconnect from the game. In the meantime, Light of Heaven TPing somewhere. Is he going top? Yes, he is. Light of Heaven going to TP to the top lane. Fight this one out. Hold the tower. It's at full HP, so they'll be absolutely fine. There's the gold grab, by the way.
Though.
Yeah, it is. That's going to give him a lot of good experience, actually. It's at 1200 gold. Could maybe pick up an ultimate orb off of this wave. We're going to get very close to it. But so the gold advantage is now sitting around 75. It's about 6k right now. Pretty high, but not the end of the world.
It's also a three tower difference.
That's pretty.
So that's
huge
already
then.
4.5k gold if you counting the last hit. So that's a lot.
So if Navi does come back and take a lot more towers, the gold graph is going to even up very, very quickly. So their team has to be very careful, especially when the anti-mage at this point just has a Vanguard. So he doesn't have a lot of damage output. He's got decent survivability, but it is looking a little scary for M5. I think Navi has the right skill set to be able to come back from this. So far, I think they're playing very, very well from a defensive standpoint.
No, definitely. And they really have a better team fight setup than M5 has. And we haven't seen really that much team fight clashes when Sand King was level 6. We had, of course, the fight at the bottom tower, tier 1 tower. That was the first team fight. But at that point, Sand King wasn't level 6, and now he is. He's even level 10. So we're probably going to see level 2 Epicenter pretty soon and have that in a team fight. Don't think we've seen that yet.
Yeah, I don't
We've seen it only
so.
to catch off Night Stalker earlier.
Yeah, Sand King's really good at that. I mean, the stun is so important, and when you have that blink dagger up, it's so much easier to be able to Dendy. It's so much easier to just get those AoE stuns off. It makes Sand King's Burrow Strike go so that much farther when you can disable multiple people. It's one of the reasons why Navi loves playing him so much, not just before his team fight, but because you can stun multiple people at an 11-second cooldown. It becomes very, very effective. And we might even see Havos actually shift towards the top lane and try to gank PGG, but there's a pretty decent wave mid as well, so he may just take that farm.
Yeah, or do it both. He can get the farm and then go somewhere else. Actually, there's a pretty big creep wave coming in on the bottom lane too. That's going to be a lot of farming. We'll be able to push out quite a bit and provide someone with some good farm there.
Yeah, I think Dendy is staring right at that and being like, "Oh my God, yes, more farm." despite my terrible early game where they zoned me out of lane, I can now grab a little bit of EXP. So people want to see.
I don't see his feet.
Yeah, his bottom torso is definitely. I think it's
Not
mostly
there?
an aura. You can like see his spine if you zoom in a little bit. I think Shadow Fiend just doesn't have any feet. That was the same way in Dota 1. So.
It's a shame that doesn't show it because this way it looks kind of weird.
Yeah, it does for sure. I think Enigma's the same way Shadow Demon. There's a couple people that have like auras, and it'll be reapplied. Don't worry, it'll be there. So
No, I'm not worrying.
okay, that's you're like really
That's not
concerned.
no. I'm only annoyed by Light of Heaven TPing because that sound is like all over the map. Almost.
What about? I'm
Did you
sorry.
hear
What
that?
about adding over the map? Light
The
on.
sound.
Oh,
The
yeah,
sound of Light of Heaven TPing.
If you go into the upper right, all right, about tier 1 by Roshan, I can't hear it, but I'll just keep my camera in places so we don't have to listen to that. They definitely should remove that. Actually, I think that sound that'd be really smart.
Just to be able to not get annoyed during breaks like this.
Yeah, I know Darkseer is really bad too. His Wall of Replica or his Iron Shell. It's a lot of sound over time. All right, there's the reconnect, so we'll be resuming very shortly here. Anti-Mage hopping back in. One person had to restart their PC or something like that. We're having some issues. So that's why we paused.
And we unpaused.
All right, Light of Heaven finally makes his epic TP. There's the power shot, doing some damage. He'll be getting some good gold from this one. We're going to see pings immediately. Looks like M5 has decided to go immediately for Roshan. Looks like the Dark Troll Warlord gets picked off. Arzart is moving into position. We're going to see the Wildkin actually does get picked off by the Lich, so it's not going to be able to scout out how things are going. PGG TP's in, so can Navi get there fast enough? Dendy is on the way. He did purchase his Ogre Club. I'm sorry, his Mytho Hammer, but it's not going to be on time. I don't think they're going to be able to fight this. It's looking really scary. There's going to be a regen as well. Vigas is going to bottle that up. Happy to grab that. And there's the Ursa Vision. He's going to maybe try to... Or he does a little bit of clap damage at least. And actually, we're going to see the Burrow Strike in. Havos jumping into the mix. I can't believe they're doing this. He goes invisible. Dendi with the Haste Rune. Does have his BKB up. Here it comes. Going to initiate here. Pops one raise. Looking for second raise. BKB ulti. Does the damage. PGG go low HP. Pops the mech off. Havos does eat a stun. Does actually get disabled out of the silence. And Blood Angel actually very, very low HP. Pops his ulti up as well. Arzart's thrown to disable. And all of Navi's up alive except for Chen, who is now gone. Vigos is going to heal back up. And SS looking to make something happen, but nobody is hitting the Aegis at the moment. Blood Angel gets back out of there. Havos on the high ground. Hasn't used Epicenter yet. Is he going to do it? He's walking into the mix. Looking for the stun. Does do the Burrow Strike through. Goes invisible next. SS. There's the heal from Chen. And they're coming back in. There's the stun on Vigos, looking for one raise, one hit, looking for more attacks, and he is going to get his bottle interrupted. This is such a tense moment. Whoever can take the Aegis here is going to get a nice advantage. Havos taking some Roshan damage though, and there's the ulti from Anti-Mage cleaning up. Havos playing such an aggressive playstyle right into the mix of it. We're going to see trading between Light of Heaven and PGG. He can always force that if he needs to. There's a buyback. No, Anti-Mage didn't die. I'm sorry. And one TP out goes from Vengeful Spirit. Windrunner drops, and this means M5 is going to be able to take the Aegis, most likely jumping on Dendi now. He's going to try to get sent back, trying to juke as long as possible. He doesn't make it, almost makes it back. Shadow Fiend goes down, and now Puppy also in trouble.
Yeah, and while Vigos is chasing Puppy, the Roshan is going to go down to M5, and that was a great fight. And such, I mean, it took so long for actually people to drop. Such a good retreat from every hero. Every player also, and then getting back in to try to do some extra damage and try to get some kills. And in the end, M5 did come out victorious. There was some nice stuns from Blood Angel, landing them pretty perfectly, I have to say. And he now has completed his Bloodstone with the gold he got from that.
Yeah, it's very nice to have that Bloodstone up, but will increase his mana regen by a lot. Not to mention his overall survivability, so he picks that up. Navi was very close to getting a couple kills, but they were pretty spread out. I think the balance of having Night Stalker over here while they were worried about the Roshan going down really created a conflict of interest for Navi, and unfortunately they weren't allowed to have just a really clean, straight team fight.
Yeah, and of course there was the muzzle mechanism from Nature's Prophet that got used, and by that time Chen was already dead in the base, or alive and still in the base, so he didn't get to use his mech for the team fight. Just got to use his ulti, but it just wasn't enough.
I think another problem also is that we didn't see him use his ulti. He totally could have, but we didn't have the vision that he we did. When he was standing over here, there were 4 people in the Roshan pit. He walked in there and he Burrow Strike. What if he had any vision at all and he saw there were 4 heroes? He totally would have epicentered that, done a ton of AoE damage, and maybe had fallout from the rest of his allies. But he just didn't want to gamble it. He wanted to save his ulti for the possibility of using it, and it just did not pay off. So that might have made a big difference as well.
That would have totally changed the team fight around, 100%.
And Anti-Mage does pick up a Vlad's next, so going for the most survivable build early. Might see the first stun, looking for the raises. It's not going to kill Anti-Mage, but he will be able to walk away. Dendi hitting quite hard, though, up to 28 souls already, despite dying recently. And BKB now at 9 seconds. He's up to 800 gold, so the rest of Navi is just kind of hanging out pretty close together. It's still nighttime, so they have to worry about Night Stalker, but their ward vision is very good, so that'll help out a lot.
Yeah, just some harassment coming up from Vigos. Looks like he wants to try to chase it though. Nature's Prophet TPing in, gonna get a Sprout. Sprout missing actually. Burrow Strike on Nature's Prophet. Gonna get shackled, gonna go down. Last hit goes to the Shadow Fiend, Dendi getting that hit. And the rest is backing off. And safely so.
Yeah, that was a really over-aggressive TP by PGG.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's just going to be one of them. But Navi's playing so well. They're really sitting close to one another. They do not want to get ganked by Night Stalker, so staying close is so important like this. And also, I loved how patient Havos was. He didn't say, I'm not going to epicenter, I'm just going to sandstorm you for 80 damage a second, which is pretty respectable damage, so let all the other heroes do the main damage. It was cool.
Yeah, and it was a good shackle shot to follow up on that stun also. That got the kill.
Yeah, it really does make a big difference. One Observer Ward on the high ground from Arzart. Another Observer Ward placed down by Lich. They're going to find some random item, and Vigos will murder it. And he has an Ogre Club up, so he's going for a BKB. And once he grabs the BKB, he's going to be a tough hero in the team fight. Most of the magic nukes from the Radiant team are just completely, all the magic nukes are stopped by Black King Bar. Does make you magic immune, prevents the stuns, all that fancy stuff. So when he grabs that up, he's going to be able to jump on Chen, Vengeful Spirit, maybe even Windrunner. Pretty much unperturbed.
Yeah, and I'm just checking the gold graph, looking what the fight at Roshan did, and it's now almost up to 10k ahead for M5, and that's pretty huge difference. I mean, there's a 10 kill difference, obviously. They're gonna be ahead, they have more towers, but 10k is a lot.
Yeah, the EXP graph really showing that. a pretty significant percentage. It's about 33% or so. Really strong gold advantage and EXP advantage as well. But if they can win some team fights and continue to turtle this out, I think their late game is maybe not going to be as good. There's of course an anti-mage up, but Shadow Fiend has really shown us in the last couple days that his farm rates can be extremely good.
Yeah, and of course the epicenter will make a huge difference as soon as it gets a perfect cast, which is what Force is waiting for.
Yep.
So far.
Ars Art, with a wand as well as a urn. It's probably going to continue getting tank on top of this. We might see a gank on Havos actually. It's going to be onto Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage does blink away though, so he's going to be able to clean this up just fine. He actually goes for Power Treads, not going to go for Arcane Boots. A little bit of an interesting choice because of the Anti-Mage in the game, but it does give him better attack speed as well as survivability, and that's usually a pretty obvious trade item choices of Na'Vis. They just grab as much tank as possible.
Yeah, SS is happily farming now. He's got an ultimate orb, so building for that Manta style. I would say his gold per minute is not that impressive though, even though it's now higher than Dandy's gold per minute. He's on 339 while Dandy's on 328.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have a Battle Fury. Battle Fury really does make a big impact at increasing your farm rate into stupid levels. So, Night Stalker does pop a DD, so we'll see if he jumps in the mid lane, but he probably realizes that allies are running. He goes invisible immediately and runs away. So, nice play by Havos. Gonna back off. Gonna be absolutely fine. It's actually going to jump on the Anti-Mage top. There is going to be a Shackle. There's a net as well. One more hit. Test of Faith. They get the kill with the raise. So Anti-Mage goes down. Do we have any more nets? I don't think so. He's going to get out. No ways for him to disable him. But they do burn the Aegis, so that's a big kill. Test of Faith does do pure damage, by the way, guys. So that's Chen doing that. Pure damage right here. They had a good Shackle. And a couple raises does add some damage. And Dendi actually goes for a Blink Dagger this game. So not going straight for damage. He's worried about, or wants the opportunity to do awesome ultis, which I think is a very smart way to approach this game.
Yeah, Night Stalker picks up the Vengeful Spirit, who still tried to TP out, but didn't really have a chance against against Vegas. Oh, by the way, the most farmed hero on the map is not Anti-Mage, it's not Dandy, it is Blood Angel on Le Shrek.
Wow. He's such a good player.
350 gold per minute.
And he's very close to his Blink Dagger as well. Wow, they catch all the Chen creeps. That's a tough loss there. One Test of Faith to put Anti-Mage's HP into bad areas. And there's the Glyph holding the tower off for just a little bit. Next creep wave comes up. All of the Radiant team is ready to go, except for Vengeful Spirit, still dead for about 6 seconds. So when Dendi is ready, he's going to do a Blink BKB ulti, hopefully catching all of the Dire team in a closed off space. Sanking will most likely will follow that up with an Epicenter or a stun. And if they can combo it effectively, they're going to be looking good. But Windrunner actually goes for a fast... Oh, that's an Ultimate Orb. It looks kind of like a Void Stone in some ways. Would you agree with that? I think it...
Which one?
It looks like Dota 1 Void Stone a little bit. Oh, they're going to jump in. They're going to catch Vegas, even an ulti out of Dendi, and then the chain stun. He gets picked off, so finally they do get an effective gank off. No Observer Wards up for the Dire team.
No, and that was an ulti used by Dendi purely to catch off Vegas, but that's totally worth it. It was actually, was it only the second time he died? Yes, it was.
But every death is important. Every kill that they can get up on their opponents is great. I'm sure that makes a difference for the EXP as well. There's a little bit of a nudge back towards even. We'll help them out a little bit.
Le Shrek is actually 5-0, and Anti-Mage's 2-0, and that might be causing them a lot of problems late game.
Wow, yeah, that's really going to put Blood Angel into the dangerous zone where he owns like crazy just because he makes great decisions. He almost has his BKB up, he's 200 away. PGG just purchasing his Scythe of Ice, so the Sheep Stick is ready to go. 3.5 second disable to be usable on Dendi when he's not Black King Bar immune, of course. That's an important distinction. So it's not going to be as much of a threat early unless he starts off with a Sheep. But late game that will become a problem as the BKB starts dipping down into bad durations.
Yeah, and Anti-Mage is only 600 gold away now from his Manta style. Almost. Sorry, from his Yasha to get a Manta style afterwards, so 1200 gold still. Of course, still needs the recipe also.
And once he does grab that, his teamfight's going to be a lot better. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Manta split, drain mana like crazy. The target I would probably go on as a anti-mage. You could even drain Shadow Fiend's mana, it would be very useful. If you can prevent him from ulting or having options for blinking and stuff like that, it would be nice. Or even draining. Chen's mana is probably not going to be completely drainable. I don't expect. His mana pool is a little bit too high, but even Sand King, actually. Sand King would probably be the best if you have vision.
Yeah, definitely. But you would expect Havors to stay back, stand back until he has the opportunity to blink in a burst strike. So hopefully for him, he won't show himself so that Antimates can indeed burn down all his mana, making him useless basically in a team fight.
And Sand King picks up the illusion. He's up to 1,800 gold. So if he chooses a Veil, he's only, I believe, 600 away. No, I'm sorry, 800. I believe it's 26 for the Veil. Yep, 2650 for the Veil. So a little bit of gold to go for that. Once he grabs that, he can reduce the magic resistance of all of the heroes on M5's team, which means his Epicenter does more damage, Shadow Fiend's ulti and raises do more damage, even Venge Stun or Windrunner Power Shot all do more damage. Would be a very nice pickup.
Yeah, we see Windrunner building towards the side of Ice too. Only needs her Mystic Staff and already has 1,200 gold of that. He's farming quite nicely.
Yeah, they're all doing really well. And here comes the
Yeah.
resume as well. Havos resumes. Dendy with some nice creeps. I love the fact that he picked up the Cobalt Taskmaster. Right clicks that on his primary hero. This is, okay, it's dead now, but it provides a nice movement speed aura to your allies. So he's going to pick up another Centaur, which gives them another stun if someone's within range, and also an attack speed aura. So if one of them dies, they still get the attack speed aura.
Yeah. There we have another disconnect. PGG disconnecting this time.
Sad day.
And I'm glad he didn't do anything with his Nil Talisman, I have to say.
Yeah, you probably just grabbed it for last hitting, especially when you're in a solo lane. Having a little bit of bonus damage like that can really help you outlast your opponent, but which apparently did not pay off because Light of Heaven still rocked him in last hits, despite only having like a Ring of Basilius. But it's understandable. Light of Heaven is really good. So there's the Manta style pickup. He's still waiting for a Blade of Alacrity, which I think is not purchased yet, so he still needs about 1,000 gold before his item is finished. Then
On
his
who,
Manta,
you say?
Anti-Mage's Manta style, and he's going to be good
Ah,
here.
yeah.
Dendy is also looking for one, but he's got his Yasha already, so...
Yeah, he just needs his orb. Unless it's on the courier, but I don't think it is. Nope.
Man, so many
The gold graph
pauses.
staying, yeah, but the gold graph staying quite even lately.
That's
I
really
mean,
good. If your goal differences are separated, you guys, you want to try to keep the separation either going into your favor or equal. If you're keeping it flat, that means your percentage difference is becoming less and less as time goes on. So this means Navi is very slowly forcing a comeback here. If they can just keep the gold flat and all of a sudden you both have, 60,000, 70,000 gold, that 10k difference is not nearly as big as it is in the early game.
No, especially not when there's still a tower difference, even though it's only one tower now, but every little bit helps.
And I wonder how long it's going to take before M5 decide to push in teamfight. At the moment, Navi's done a little bit better of coming out, ganking, and pushing back in their jungle. And usually the teams that carry this momentum the most end up winning the game. So, I don't. If they can keep that up and prevent M5 from doing the same things, I think they're going to be looking really strong. Have a much better chance at winning at least. All they need is a good team fight or two, and then I think the gold graph could equalize, especially when they take the rest of the outer towers, which they're currently only at a disadvantage of 1. So can't really be looking into gold, tower gold anymore for their success.
Exactly. But I don't think M5 will try to look for those team fights. I mean, I don't think they want a team fight, especially not with a Sand King on Navi. They want to try to get more farm in the Anti-Mage, and when he's ready for it, maybe they want to force team fight, but until then I think they're going to be pretty happy with just trying to pick off all the heroes that they can and farming in the meantime.
They currently have 2 Smoke and Seeds in the shop. We can check the Dire team for that one as well. Dire team actually also at 2, so those are cooling down. At least they could be utilizing those maybe a little bit better, but at the moment they're all just concerned about tanking and farming. Leshrac does have his BKB, so he's pretty much set on items. Other than that, are there any other cores they're looking for? I mean, Nature's Prophet has Sheep Stick, so he's pretty happy, but I think once Nightstalker grabs his BKB and Anti-Mage grabs his Manta Style, they may look for a push there, I think. It's definitely a possibility. There's still the need for a pipe on the Dire team, because obviously Sand King ulti or even Shadow Fiend ulti will always be a threat, but I don't know who's going to farm it. It might be a while till somebody grabs a pipe.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to go for a split push down first, with PGG going for a different lane, and the rest trying to at least lure out Navi for I don't know, for distraction. Not really for a team fight, but just for distraction, so that PGG can push down a different lane. I have to say, all the towers from Navi are looking pretty squishy. They have not a lot of HP left.
Yeah, it makes it a lot tougher to defend. If they start the push before you guys react to it, then you get there late and the tower's gone at that point. It's not worth defending when it only has 100 HP. So their fights will be at the Raxes most likely if they decide to go for them.
Yeah.
And whoa, the game resumed. Whoa!
Yay!
I don't believe it. Gonna see a ping on the SK top. And Light of Heaven a little trapped in by creeps, but no problem at all. Still about 1400 away, but he will have his sheep stick soon. And a sheep stick on Light of Heaven is going to be a nice impact. Being able to disable anti-mage for an extra 3.5 seconds is going to be super valuable. Even being able to use that against someone like Night Stalker is also very strong.
Yeah, he has to be able to find the right one though, because anti-mage is almost completed his mad style.
We did see Habos narrowly avoid the sheep from the Nature's Prophet, who is now going to shift back to base, so he's going to heal up, buys the Gem of True Sight actually. Was a little bit worried about that. He's frustrated. He probably went Smokescreen or Sandstorm and then blinked away, and then Nature's Prophet was unable to do the damage and the blink out came, so it's about time they grab that. They're going to be able to get some nice ward vision as well. If you look at the Radiant wards, how easy are they to counter ward? This one will be able to be gotten, but this one up here is going to be tougher, so I don't know if they're going to be able to spot that or not. And PGG binds some smokes as well, so they're ready to go. Actually, a lot of smokes. Even one on the courier, so they are ready to gank.
That's exactly what they're gonna do. Apart from anti-mage, of course, who's happily farming.
Yeah, he's most likely going to stay in the mid lane for a while.
Yeah.
And Dire, nope, those are all Dire sentries. No vision there. There's a haste rune bottom, actually. But we'll see if the engagement happens. They're going to jump on Dendy, most likely. He's got his BKB ready to go. Light of Heaven actually might be the first person to spot. He's going to shoot a power shot off, doing a little bit of damage to the neutral creeps. We'll check out Radiant Dire Vision. Alright, there it is. Light of Heaven does get hexed on. There's the Sprout as well. Nighttime for Vigos. There's the Sun. There's the slow follow-up stun. There's the mech. There's the heal from Puppy. Trying to keep him alive. And Light of Heaven still not dead yet, but Puppy also taking a bunch of AoE damage. There's the Epicenter. Doing tons to Lich. Is Lich going to get the ulti off? There's the ulti from Anti-Mage. Killing the Sand King immediately. Arzarts is in the mix, and it looks bad for Navi. Did we see Shadow Fiend also go down? No, he's still alive here.
No.
Trying to pick off Light of Heaven. There's a TP in from PGG. And there we go. Not looking good for Navi at all. They just lost 4 heroes there. Windrunner going down, taking a brunt of the attack, but not nearly enough heal to keep them all up.
Yeah, I have to say I'm quite disappointed that the epicenter from a force didn't do as much as I thought it would. Even without, and there wasn't even a pipe up. I mean, it hit almost everybody. It was a good epicenter, but didn't really have that much impact.
Yeah, that's an EXP and gold advantage. When you have the EXP advantage, your heroes have more HP on average, your items give you more HP, and everybody was pretty survivable. I mean, Anti-Mage resisting a lot of that with Spell Shield, I'm sure. Leshrac doing the same with his BKB, so they can't rely on Epicenter nearly as much as they could before, but the important part is that M5 chose the engagement. M5 started the team fight off. It wasn't just one hero dying, it was Navi trying to save him, and they lost 4 heroes as a result. If it just would have been one hero dying, M5 probably would have turned it into push. But instead, they took the team fight and immediately went back and grabbed the Aegis.
Yeah, and they were just able to do so because everybody of Navi just ran in almost one by one, and they were not ready for a team fight. They were not positioned for a team fight, so they kind of got to dive here. And Chen's gonna be in a lot of trouble being turned into a pig, and Lich getting the last hit. I was gonna say sheep, but it's a pig.
Yes, that is a pig.
Yeah.
Moscow 5 does pick off another gank using the smoke immediately afterwards, and Puppy's positioning was excellent, but by the time the smoke reacted, Moscow 5 realized, oh, somebody's here, and then they blinked forward and got the sheep off on the chin, so he did get picked off there, and another slight mistake from from Navi, and puts him in another bad spot. There's going to be a glyph mid as they try to backdoor, but they will be able to auto-attack it down. Their damage is too high at this point, so Navi is going to have to continue to tank it. If we look at the gold graph, it's getting worse out of their favor. And might see Sand King actually. Actually, this is Arzart on the top lane. He doesn't even have a TP scroll, so he's absolutely screwed there. Nature's Prophet ulti doing 400 damage there. That was huge.
Yeah, it was totally caught out of position. I really wonder what he was doing there all by himself. As being a vengeful spirit, I mean, not really one that you can expect to be able to get away.
The creep wave push continues here as the Dire team pushes up a bit. Gonna have some
Last tier
treants
for
up.
tower.
Yeah, Anti-Mage is coming through. It's gonna go down though. There's no way that Navi's gonna defend this. Oh, Vigos might find the Chen. This is terrible for Puppy. It's gonna take a little bit of nukes. PGG also coming in for the gank. He's gonna be silenced and feared. I don't think he's gonna get his mech off. He pops the mech at least. A little bit of damage being done. Great force set from Blight of Heaven keeps him on the high ground. Ugh. If he would have died there, that would have been terrible. PGG's sheep is on cooldown, but we're gonna see blink up to the high ground from Dendy. And Moscow 5 looking for a free kill. If they get a free kill right now, it would be a huge advantage to them. And even Chen purchasing a healing salve just to make sure his HP is up to full a little bit faster here as they come to defend. Oh, here's the blink in. Manta style as well. They're going to be jumping in on Puppey. Dendy takes one Nature's Prophet ulti. Is doing a little bit of damage. Does one raise. Is actually hitting on Vigas here. Manta split of his own. There's the Venom. Ulti from Anti-Mage as well. Chain Frost comes through. Dendy ulti. Going to do a little bit of damage actually. Doing some good damage to Inmate, but the mech comes through. Vigas still pursuing. Chen is going to get picked off. Blood Angel in the mix. Looks like Light Heaven is going to go down, and that is going to be a lot of Dendy on the floor. Hobos respawns. Dendy's still trying to get a kill on Blood Angel, but the damage is not nearly enough. He barely survives. And Navi at a big disadvantage now. 6-26. M5 looking like they're going to take game 1.
Yeah, definitely. And Blood Angel gonna get triple fuel there, having 16 stacks on his Bloodstone. Not that he needs that, he still hasn't died yet. It's 10-1. As Vorce is gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. Actually backs off, even though Anti-Mage was up for the taking, I guess, with the Burst Strike maybe. But this melee barracks are gonna go down.
And the first Rax drops against Navi here.
Yeah.
Definitely not looking good for them. PGG going to TP out. The rest are also leaving. So many BKBs are up on M5 though. We're going to see a stun on Blood Angel though. A couple hits. Manta split as well. A couple more last hits. Oh, is he going to survive? He goes away. 30 HP ends up surviving. Pops his ulti. Now Hobos is going to get auto attack down by the Anti-Mage. And that is just a perfect example of a situation where you're not quite winning enough. When you can't kill somebody that is at that low of HP, he ends up surviving. Even Anti-Mage buying a Skull Basher, going for the disable chances. They are fighting really uphill right now. I don't know if they can win it.
Leshrac is pretty confident. He bought the recipe for the heart, and is now on his way to the secret shop.
Wow.
To use the rest of his 44,300 gold. And he is gonna be even harder to kill than he already was.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
I doubt he's gonna go down. And even if he does go down, he'll be up straight away anyway. He has 16 charges on his Bloodstone. I believe you need 18 charges to get a instant respawn. That's what I've been told today, at least.
Yeah, 4 times 18 is a lot of seconds, so it's especially in the early game. Unless that would cover him if he's just about 25 even. So he's pretty much set. Gonna get the respawn. Probably will buy Boots of Travel next, but I like his item choices. I like the heart pickup, just really increasing his tank ability. His armor isn't very high, but and there's some decent minus AoE armor on Navi's team, but their team fights thus far have just not been strong enough because of their lack of farm and gold.
Yeah. 20k disadvantage for Navi. Or at least M5 is 20k ahead. That's a lot.
Looking for the shackle shot, not going to land. M5 is playing really excellent though. 27-6 at the moment. And PGG is level 17, so just waiting for the TP in. He's sitting really far back actually. I assume he's just looking for an opportunity to hop in, but not anything quite yet ready to go.
There we go, TPing into the base of the Radiant. Gonna come in from behind.
They do get a stun off on Puppey. There's the Mantle split as well. BKB's pop. Vigas hopping into the mix. Nice swap by Arzarts, trying to keep alive. Mech as well. Looking for Chen Heal. Chen Heal comes through everybody. And no, 2 heroes now dead for Navi. Great ulti from Dendy. Gotta be able to pick off one support here at least. Now gonna trade some hits. And Avos calls good game. Moscow 5 wins a great game 1 here against Navi. I think they gotta ban the Night Stalker. Night Stalker really was such a crucial hero towards shutting them down that game. Great ganks in the mid game. Those dives bottom that they just totally won despite Navi having great TP support. And Moscow 5 really just showing us that they can totally tango with the best team in the world.
Definitely a really convincing game. I mean, look at the kill difference alone. That's really impressive, especially if you're up versus Shadow Fiend, who I believe, well, he got shut down pretty good, but Shadow Fiend is a tricky hero to have early game. But I guess versus the Night Stalker didn't really stand a chance.
So yeah, that's going to see the disconnects from the rest of the teams. I don't know if everybody's going to back out here. I think all the teams are just going to AFK at this point, probably taking a break unless we see PGG actively micro. Nope. Alright, they're all out of the game, so we'll be back in just a second, guys, with Game 2. This is going to put up to 1-1 of this best of 5 series. Moscow 5 played an excellent game, takes out Navi in the finals here of the Starlighter Finals in Kiev. So stay tuned, guys. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back in just a second. Alright, I'll let you see the score screen, since we're here. Any shoutouts, Sheever, by the way? Do you want to plug your stuff?
Oh well, you can find me on Twitter YouTube and Facebook under the name of Sheever Gaming, and on Twitch on /Sheever.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right, cool. All right, stay tuned, guys. We'll be back in just a second.